this week on Cruisin New England. Cool cars, exciting military memorabilia, and a historic diner. All this in your neighbor's backyard? I'm Paul Manette, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Cruisin New England. Today, we're in central Massachusetts to visit your not-so-ordinary next-door neighbor. He's got some great hot rods, memorabilia, and automobilia. Why, this guy's even got his own diner. You'll see all this and more on Cruisin New England. All my life, I've been cruising New England, meeting great people, visiting amazing places, and discovering wonderful classic and custom car collections, nostalgic automobilia, and so much more. Come on and join our adventure. I'm Paul Manette. Let's go cruising. Intercity Lines Incorporated, America's premier enclosed auto transporter, providing enclosed transport throughout the United States. Call 800-221-3936 or visit us on the web.
Experience McMulkin Chevrolet, one of the largest volume new and pre-owned Corvette dealers in the country.
I came here because I heard McMulkin has the largest selection of Corvettes in the Northeast.
I bought a GR1 because I wanted the fastest production car out there.
McMulkin has one of the most extensive inventories of coupes and convertibles, available and ready for delivery.
The Taj Mahal of Chevy dealerships. If you haven't been around, you got to come and check this place out.
Make it the true American sports car, Corvette. McMulkin Chevrolet is your Corvette dealer.
Imperial Worldwide insulation vinyl siding, copper and seamless aluminum gutters, closet-made shelving systems, and zero-clearance fireplaces. We strive to make the building process easy and fun.
Hi, I'm Jim Grundy. Many of you know me as the old original of collector car insurance at Grundy. Well, today I'm here to introduce something new. We call it the Motor Vehicle Programmer MVP. MVP is designed to offer you the same great coverage with agreed value and incredible rates, not just on your collector cars, but on your daily drivers, your motorcycles, your motorhomes, your pickup trucks. If it goes over the road, we can insure it on MVP. To get a quote, call our 800 number or visit us online.
Find out what's happening. Get up-to-date information as I travel throughout New England and beyond. To get exclusive information and behind-the-scenes photos, join me on Facebook. Now you can watch Cruisin New England television every day on our website television show. You'll see past episodes featuring automobile collections, memorabilia, automobilia, car show, and cruise night segments. Don't miss our visit with Hall of Fame drag racer Don Garlitz, a private showing of Bob Baer's world-class automobile collection, and watch for special segments, unseen footage, and so much more. Join us on our website television show at cruisinNewEngland.com. Well, we're back, and I'm here with Mike O'Connor, who is no stranger to the cruising scene. He's a car dealer, a car builder, an enthusiast. He's even a member of one of the oldest car clubs in New England, the Tie Rods. What are we going to have a look at today here?
Well, we're going to look at some memorabilia that I've collected over the years, some of my antique cars, and then the newest addition, which we've been working on for a while now, is a diner.
So, Mike, what are you going to show us first?
Well, the first car is a 1937 Willys. It's a bone stock original car that came out of Wisconsin. I've loaned this car to the Museum of Fine Arts out in Toledo. They did a build-up on Amos Northrop, who designed this rounded look of these cars. Very unusual to find a car like this that's stock original. Normally they cut them up and made hot rods out of them. It's a 4-cylinder car, 3-speed transmission. Very economical car in this day.
You know, Mike, it's not too often you look at a vehicle from a distance and you see this and there's a 4-cylinder under the hood. Exactly. Tell me about it.
Well, when they were built for economy. They were competing with Ford and Chevrolet, and the idea was a 4-cylinder car that you could buy for less money than Ford and Chevrolet, and it was more economical, and you could have 2 of these cars. And it was designed by Amos Northrop, who at the time was into this rounded look. Before this 37 years, they had more of a squarer body, but now they have this rounded, I call it a bug eye look, because it's got that funny shape on the front fenders with the headlights and all.
But the design here is beautiful. Even though it's simple, it's rounded, and it's got a beautiful hood ornament on
Yeah,
it
it
that
is,
really shows it off well.
Yeah, it's a pretty car. It's got that natural look to it, yeah, for back in that day.
All right, next up, I see you got a beautiful 1942 Ford Deluxe convertible. It's a wonderful car. Tell us a little bit about this one.
This car was a Worcester car stored in a garage down on Shrewsbury Street in Worcester for over 30-something years. The car's been totally restored, deemed the most correct 42 Ford convertible in the world by the 42 Ford advisors, 41 and 2 Ford Mercury advisor. It's been to AACA Junior and Senior down in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's got the Dearborn Award. Those awards are on the front of it. It's a very nice car. This is a fun car to drive. It's a fun car to have.
So let's talk about under the hood. What does it have?
It's got a flathead V8 in it, which was standard and original to this particular car. Standard shift, standard transmission, which was all you could get back in those days.
Now, you put a beautiful interior in here. Now, is this an original interior?
Original design. It was a copy. Actually, the LeBaron Bonney did the interior, and they used this as a patent car. They used to have to use a patent from 46s. When they finally brought them this car here, they had to change some of the 46 patents to make them more correct for the 42s.
Let's talk about the dashboard. Look at how beautiful that dashboard is, and it's in excellent condition.
That wood graining was done down in Sarasota, Florida. It's a special graining for this 42 Ford. It's beautiful, actually.
Now, I want to take all your cars out on the road, but I know we're not going to be able to do that. But later on today in the episode, can we take this one on the road?
We'll definitely go for a ride.
Okay, so what's up next for us?
Next is a 32 Ford Roadster. 32 Ford Roadster was built in Utah by a fellow by the name of Glade Yates, which is kind of an unusual name. I purchased it down in Waltham, Mass, but it came from Utah to Waltham. It's got a Corvette 56 Chevrolet motor with triple carbs on it. It's got 39 transmission, 48 rear end. It's really kind of a period correct car. Everything that I've done and had done in this car, I've tried to do to keep it exactly for that late 50, early 60s era. And you can basically, it's got a generator, not alternator. It's got the guide headlights with the little directional light on top. This type of flame type stuff is probably not the type that I would have put on this car, but it's kind of their design in Utah. The same thing with the striping on the back.
So, Mike, this is the car you like to take to cruise nights.
Sure, absolutely.
You have a lot of fun with it. I'm sure it gets a lot of attention.
Sure it does, yeah. It's a fun car. We have a great time.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to see a lot more of Mike's collection. All this and more on Cruisin New England.
Waiting on back orders again? Your neighbor isn't. He ordered from NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't let back orders stall your project. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
Graphic Express, mobile lettering, custom graphics for autos, fleets, trucks, and boats. Signs of all types including awnings, storefronts, banners, and more.
Intercity Lines Incorporated is America's premier enclosed auto transporter with service to all 48 states. Intercities features 53-foot air ride trailers equipped with lift gates for level loading of all vehicles. Intercity's drivers are the most experienced in the auto transport business and treat each car as if it was their own. Intercity provides transport services for car owners, auto manufacturers, dealers, museums, auto auctions, concours, and racing events. Call us toll-free or visit our website.
Don't miss the Amherst Outdoor Antique Auto Show and Flea Market, Amherst, New Hampshire, the last Sunday of the month, April through October. Over 500 spots. Gates open at 6 a.m. with free admission.
Cash for Gold, the place to sell your unwanted gold and diamonds. Where you sell your jewelry is as important as where you buy it. We at Cash for Gold are diamond and gold specialists. We will buy all size diamonds, gold chains, rings, bracelets, silver coins, and even broken jewelry. Often we pay 2 to 3 times higher than pawn shop prices. We also pay up to 90% of the daily price of both diamonds and gold. We are the original, authentic, family-run Cash for Gold and have been for more than 28 years. Visit us at 527 South Broadway, Route 28 in Salem, New Hampshire.
When September comes, the party begins. Cruise on over to the Big E in West Springfield, Mass. September the 14th through the 30th.
Mike, you've got everything, even a phone booth. Where are we going to go from here?
Let's start with the Coke machine.
Okay, so over here we got what, a vintage?
Yeah, 70s era.
70s era Coke machine. Takes what, 40 cents?
40 cents back in the day.
And over here we got another one. It's what, I think that's the 1950s.
Yes, that's 50s era. Yeah.
Look at your albums here. Let's go back and have a look at these albums. I mean, it's all related to automobiles.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so I'm in love with automobile stuff. A friend of mine had these albums. I mentioned to him, geez, if you ever decide to sell them, and then here they are. They wound up here.
And these magazines here are so collectible. The old Rodden custom magazines, 25 cents. These are worth a lot of money. Well, over here you have a mobile oil container here, this here, and you also have the rack. These racks are hard to come by, you know, and you know, way back then, this is how you actually got your oil. They actually fill these up with oil, and then from here, it went into the car.
That's how you bought them.
Now, where did you buy something like this?
This was probably a flea market. Yeah, garage sale. Gas station that was closing. More than likely any place like that. Same thing with the air tower. A friend of mine had a couple of air towers, and I bought those, and then of course had to restore them. And
it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
it looks beautiful. Does it have the mechanics to it?
Yeah, they work. Yeah.
And then, of course, on top of this, you have a shelf that's got really some nice stuff. These little cans, these little oil cans are very collectible.
Christie Dry Gas was one of the popular companies around Worcester area.
You got the Shell stuff, a lot of Shell stuff up there. And we move over here, you got an Anco Rainmaster windshield wiper and arm kit here. And boy, it looks like it's even full.
Yeah, it had all the equipment in. That kind of got me started collecting. A friend of mine had that with a bunch of cans and stuff like that, and he wanted to sell it all as a package. And once I started buying that, the fever, you know, took over, and here I am now with the collection of them.
And you know, all this stuff is very collectible. You know, you have all the lubricants up here, and Texaco, like I keep saying on my show, that Texaco's, you know, a pretty rare thing now to find a lot of Texaco memorabilia. And you got Oilsum, nice collection.
Of course, that was local. You know, Oilsum was here in Worcester.
Now over here, you got some of the original trophies that you won from way back.
Back in the mid '60s.
Back in the
Connecticut Dragway and Orange Drag Strip. Yeah, they're old trophies today. Yeah.
Now moving down here, I see a gas pump. It kind of looks like a miniature gas pump, but actually these were in trucking yards and things like that. I like them because of the size.
Yeah, they're small.
You know, and they look really nice. And what do you think? What vintage this is, from the '60s?
Yeah, probably '60s. That was they called them gas boys.
Now here you have a real prize in your collection, and it's not this hat. All right, it's this jacket. This jacket here is very, very collectible. And these vintage jackets can go anywhere from a couple of $100s into the $1,000 range. That's how much they're paying for these jackets.
Yeah, it's a nice piece. You know, I would never part with it.
Now you have a beautiful Gulf pump. It looks like it's been restored.
Yeah.
All right, that's back what, the vintage in the 1950s, I would imagine.
I would think 50s, 60s. Yeah.
It's in
Gilbarco.
really nice condition.
Yeah.
Hey Mike, I love this Texaco pump. Another looks like vintage 50s, and it's really in nice condition. Tell us about it.
50s or 60s, another pump that needed to be restored, and you know, I had a friend that had a body shop, and I'd go down there and putz around with it, and he painted it for me when it was done. And here I got the twin to it, which I had been looking for quite a while. It's the same brand, same make, same era. That will be the regular. This will be the Sky Chief, which will be the high test.
Now here you got some cans down here on the
More
floor.
cans over
very, very collectible. You know, many people I know collect these cans, and actually I know some people that have hundreds of them. Wow, looks great here in your garage.
Yeah.
Hey, when we come back, a lot more with Mike, and we might even have a little lunch.
If you had to choose for one of these three cars for your very own, which one would you choose?
It's not even close. And when we come back, you'll find out. Welcome to the Town Fair Tire Recognition Award Series. Each week we're going to be giving away an award to recognize a classic car owner throughout New England. I'm here with Jim Giuliano. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Advertising for Town Fair Tire.
Paul, Town Fair Tire is a proud sponsor of the Recognition Award Series. At the end of the series, we're going to have a Town Fair Tire Choice Award winner for the $500 gift certificate.
It's going to be very exciting. Jim, I'd like you to meet Jack Frost.
Jack, tell us a little bit about your car.
67 Chevelle convertible, 396 with a 5-speed Tremec tranny.
Truly an awesome looking car, and on behalf of Town Fair Tire, I'd like to present you with a trophy and a gift certificate.
Thank you very much.
Get to Town Fair Tire. You always get free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover. Drive with confidence. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We're back, and if you guessed I picked the 1942 Ford convertible, you were right. I'm here with Mike O'Connor, and we're going to have a look at his 1941 Willys Coupe. I say it's canary yellow. What do you say?
Well, it's yellow. It's actually a dandelion yellow. It's a Chrysler color. It's all steel. The car originally, like I say, we got out of Canada, but originally came out of New York, and it had drag racing history, and so it's a fun little car. We have a great old time with it.
Well, it's a drag car, and that means there's something special under the hood.
It's got a small block Chevy in it. I'll show it to you.
So tell us a little bit about it.
It's got a small block Chevy. It's got the Elderbrook pallet package on it, which has aluminum heads, aluminum manifold. It's got the Elderbrook 4-barrel carburetor. It's got a turbo 400 transmission. It's got an Olds rear end in it. It's got fender well headers like they had back in the day. So it's a car that's really designed and built today for the old nostalgia look with they used to call it nose high front end on it. So the front end is lifted up in the air.
Gasser.
Gasser.
Right.
It's an old gasser.
So Mike, let's talk a little bit about the interior.
It's got basically a lot of the original interior in it. The seats are different because they had racing type of bucket seats in it, but the door panels and the panels all around the inside skirting is basically all the same. It's got the stock dash, it's got the old tachometer in it, it's got Stewart Warner gauges in it, so it's kind of designed for what they would have had back in that era. It's a fun car. Everybody seems to love this car, the color and all. It's just fun.
Can we take this
Sure.
one on the road?
Definitely go for a ride.
So Mike, how did you get started in hot rodding?
Ever since I was a kid, I love cars. I mean, my father used to get such a kick out of me. We'd be going down the street, he'd be saying, what kind of car is that? What kind of car?
Did you spend a lot of time in the junkyards?
Back in the day, absolutely.
Well, back then, kids today, they don't understand it. They go to the parts stores and they buy everything, aftermarket. But, back in the day, we talk back in the day, the 50s, even the early 60s. I mean, you needed a part, you went to a junkyard.
It's really easier today to do a car, especially an antique car, because there's so much money that's been made on reproduction parts that almost everything you need you can get reproduced.
All right, next up, we're going to have a little lunch at Mike's Personal Diner. Well, Mike, I can't believe it. A real diner in someone's backyard. Why would you ever want to do something like this?
Well, it was misused. It needed to be restored. It was a part of Worcester's history, and I wanted to restore it, and here it is.
Didn't look like this when you first got it, did it?
It was very badly burnt. It was a whole project inside, but I have a fellow by the name of Gary Thomas that came from Beverly, Mass. that came down and did a lot of the old oak, replaced all the roof and all the refrigerator and all the panels, all these inside, everything inside had to be replaced, and he's done a fantastic job. It's a work of art now. It's back to, I would think, better than when even Preservation Worcester had it.
So will this be a working diner? I mean, will you have some of the electricity going in here?
Yeah, eventually we will.
Refrigeration?
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll make it a working for my friends.
Well, let's talk about the stainless steel. Was that there when you...
No, the stainless steel had to be replaced. That was all burnt and twisted as it was. Part of the countertop was broken.
That was quite a job just to match the countertop.
Very much so, yeah. In fact, there was a fellow here in Worcester, and I was having an awful hard time getting a piece of the marble. And he said to me, that stuff isn't that hard to find. He said, you call me about 3 days later. He said, if you come to the back door of our house, he said, you'll find that piece of marble you need. He said, it's on me.
Now, what about these stools? Now, I know the bases of the stools look original. Are the top parts original?
All had to be restored. All had to be reupholstered, and that's the proper beating that should have been around the diners for that era.
Was the rail here too?
Rail was there,
the foot rail?
Yeah.
So actually you have this thing pretty much back to the way it was back in the day. Where,
yeah.
What, the 40s and 50s, I would imagine?
30s actually. This was built in 1933.
Well, it's a beautiful work in progress. All right, when we come back, we're going to have a look at some very, very special cars that mean a lot to Mike, his wife, and we're going to talk about some memories. All this and more when we come back. I'm Paul Minette, and I'm proud to be named the spokesperson for the Food Allergy Education Network.
Food allergies are a growing and serious health concern. 1 in 12 children in the United States has food allergies. That's 2 children in every classroom. There is no cure for food allergies. The only way to keep our children safe is through education. Learn the facts about food allergies. Know the signs and symptoms of anaphylaxis.
You can save a life.
I got involved because of my granddaughter, and I hope you get involved too.
Would you like information about Cruisin New England productions? Cruisin New England magazine has been the premier auto and events magazine for nearly 20 years. Cruisin New England Car Show series includes the Elite Dream Machines Rock and Roll Weekend at Mohegan Sun Casino, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the Spooktacular Cruisin' Classic. Or for personal appearances by Paul Manette or advertising on our television show, contact us at cruisenewengland@aol.com.
Building Maintenance Services. We've been servicing the Northeast since 1990. We service and repair revolving doors, automatic and handicap doors. We can help you design an attractive, efficient entrance you can be proud of. Protect your investment and secure your property with yearly maintenance contracts and 24-hour service. Whether in office, medical, or commercial high-rise, we'll get the job done right for you. Building Maintenance Services.
Tired of waiting for delivery of your classic car parts? You need NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford, Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't be the last guy on the block to get your ride rolling. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
Paul, I want to show you my 53 Ford pickup truck. Got a 351 Cleveland motor. It's got an automatic transmission. I just fell in love with the color green, and it's just a handy little truck to have around the house if you got any little deliveries or pickups.
That's a beautiful paint job on there, though. It's not just a green. It almost looks like a metallic type of a green.
I think that's what sold me on the truck. I just fell in love with the color.
What do you have under the hood on this one?
It's got a 351 Cleveland motor in it. Yeah, it's basically a stock truck with just an upgrade in the motor and the transmission.
Boy, I tell you, and to verify that he uses this to drive around with loads, have a look at the back of that truck. It's loaded with stuff. All right, next up, I want to have a look at 2 vehicles that really mean a lot to you. So, Mike, this is very special to you. It's a 51 Plymouth, and it is a beautiful car. It's got a nice paint job on it. It looks like it's all original. But what makes this thing so special?
Well, it's probably not the most popular car to get involved in today. Plymouth's not the in-car. Chevrolet and Ford, especially Fords, were. But my very first car was a 51 Plymouth, and it's a clone to this car here. I had the covers over the headlights. I had the bullnose strip. I had a split manifold with dual exhausts on it. I had the dice hanging off the mirror, and it's just I had the flipper hubcaps. It had the cream color roof with the turquoise color type of color on the bottom. It's a fun car. It's a very low mileage car. It was a great car to do up. I mean, it sat in many years in a barn. It's only got like 12,000 miles on it now.
Okay, now this color here is pretty close to original.
Yeah, pretty much close. I was trying to kind of match the original, kind of match the color that I painted the one I had back then. It's kind of in between.
Well, Mike, you did a real good job with the interior. It looks beautiful. Tell us about the interior and what you did to it.
Basically like a stock interior. It's got the cloth interior with the, like I say, with the gray dash and all. It's all just kind of matching what it used to be. My very first car was a $50 Plymouth. My father gave me the $50 for, so this is the clone of it today.
Let's talk about, now this is a 3-speed on the column.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now today, they don't even make them.
I know.
So the younger generation that watches our shows doesn't even know what a 3-speed on the column is. No. So you kept it that way too, which is really good.
Basically what I had back then. Yeah, it's really, it's a fun little car.
All right, so next up we're going to have a look at a military vehicle. That's another oddball in a collection for a hot rodder like you. Back during the war, a lot of guys would put their girlfriends' names on the vehicle. Now, is that a girlfriend of yours or what?
That's my girlfriend today. Same girlfriend, Margaret Ann, my wife.
So tell us a little bit about the vehicle and why you named it what you did.
Well, it's a 1945 Willys Army Jeep. It's got like an original body that you can't find today. They make reproductions. This was not a reproduction. This was a new old stock military body that they used. A lot of the memorabilia that you see on this Jeep is, I remember that friends of mine had brought to me and gave me. A lot of the products that I do have, a lot of the stuff I have comes from friends that they just realize that here's a guy that likes to display this stuff and show it. So it's an honor for me to get a lot of these things. This Jeep was done for the African wars, so you can see like on the front, that this grill, it's got the cutouts, and people say, why was that cut out? But back in the sandstorms and stuff like that, you need to be able to get in quick to get the sand out so the vehicle wouldn't overheat. So that's the idea of the cutouts in the grill.
You know, I can picture Ike driving this, you know, and now you have a book here on the hood. Now,
yeah,
what's that all about?
This book was a good friend of mine's father was in, Walter Antool, and he comes by here to see me all the time. He's a very close friend of mine. And this was a book that was given to the family after his father had passed on.
Now let's talk about some of the accessories. I think it's very important. Look at all the stuff you have in here. Let's talk about some of it. And
Sure.
Does it go with the Jeep?
Yeah, it does go. And it's like I say, it's stuff that a lot of my friends came over and just had, and they'd see me displaying the stuff, and you know, somebody come with a belt, somebody come with the water cans, and you know, it's all stuff that I was in the National Guard, so it's stuff that I use myself. So you know, it's all neat stuff. Picture of myself back in the day when I was riding around in the Army Jeep, so it's kind of bringing me back to my childhood days again, like that Plymouth over there.
All the stuff that a person would have, or a military person would have during the war.
Or need.
Now you also have a trailer.
Yeah.
And a lot of memorabilia here on top of the trailer.
Sure. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Now what is this?
Old blanket, and it's a veterans of World War I and a Korean War veteran. Just a armor that's a place that they would put on like down. It's a cemetery and stuff like that.
I got to tell you, of all the vehicles you have here, you don't get a chance to see these military vehicles too often.
Deemed the most correct 42 Ford convertible in the world by the 42 Ford Mercury Advisor.
Now, Mike, you said this is the most correct that they know of
Exactly.
in the world. Now, what does that do to the value of a vehicle?
Well, it's a very rare wartime car to begin with. They stopped production early. A 40 Ford convertible, they probably produced 20,000. This car here, I think there was 2,800 that they produced. So it's a very low production car to begin with. And then being so correct, I'm sure it's increased the value.
I want to thank Mike O'Connor for a great day. We've seen a lot of his memorabilia, his automobilia, a great car collection, and even his own diner. I'm Paul Manette. Until next time, I'll be cruising New England.